taking the game as a preparation for the AFCON. As you know, we've already qualified for the AFCON, so it is an important match also for Zimbabwe to prepare ourselves as we're in the same group also with SA in AFCON, Morocco. So we'll give our best for our country. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we are taking questions from the floor, I would also suggest or like you guys at least to lift up your hand, and then you also state where or which media house you are from after you have at least told us your full name. Thank you. My brother there, Black Cap.
Yes, Marvelous, very from ABC. And as you say, you are taking this game serious because you're looking forward to the AFCON. You'll also be playing Bafana at the AFCON. How much of that is also looking at what you'll be facing on the 26th of December?
Yeah, I think it will start tomorrow. As I said before, we take each and every game competitive. We are professionals. We know Bafana. I think some of them, we have friends there. We have played against each other. We have played in same league with some of them. So for us, Zimbabwe, it is important to start now the preparation. And I think in the camp, the morale is high.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? My brother.
From Popular Radio. How much of a factor has it been for you guys perhaps not to play in front of your own home crowd and have to play most of your games outside of like your home country?
Yeah, of course, it has been a challenge, but I think we have done so far well. We have qualified for AFCON, playing away from home, and also we try always to look on the positive side. And for us as players, we're just focusing on the game. Of course, we are playing away from home, but I think we have some fans tomorrow, and South Africa is close by from Zimbabwe. So I think this one will be much better, like compared to other games, where like if we are playing like last time in Ivory Coast or somewhere a little bit far, but I think SA is close to home.
Okay, thank you. No problem. Anyone else?
Okay. How would you say the coach? Because the last time we played you was, I think, a year ago, or even earlier than that. It was before Coach Nees arrived. What has it brought to the team since he joined?
I think the unity in the team. I think as players, we are more close to each other. We've been having some meetings as a team. I think it has helped us also, like try to rectify the mistakes that we did like before. And I think it's been pushing each and everyone in the team. I think it has helped the team.
Okay.
Tababa from Nyanda. Maybe a word or two as the captain of the national team to defense back home, despite that this match is a dead run.
We'd like to say to our fans to keep on supporting us. They've been fantastic, supporting the team, supporting the nation. We really need their support. We just promise them we'll give everything. We'll try our best. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I would like to believe maybe we are done with our captain. Marvelous. We thank you for your time. You're excused as you go and prepare for the training session.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, colleagues, we have our coach, Micheal Nees. Coach, we know the significance of this game. It's very important, especially given the history between the two countries. What's your take as we prepare, or maybe as we look forward to facing South Africa?
First of all, good afternoon. Our main motivation is not to play football, is not to be a party crasher. Our main motivation is to be to improve as a sportsman, as a team, as a towards the AFCON in this case, and we need to treat our opponents equal because we know 4 teams are competing for that World Cup slot or maybe 2 slots, and it's in the same way if you want to go, if you have to go to the hospital for assistant by a medical doctor, you expect to be treated equal, whether you are the neighbor of him or a friend of him or if you don't know him at all. And the same is in football, in coaching, or when you play competitive sports. You have to play the game, you have to respect all the opponents the same, whether they're neighbors or friends or maybe people you don't even know. And we have to treat this game as serious as it is for all the teams. And we are sportsmen, and we have a duty to give our best on the pitch. And whatever is then the outcome can be best influenced by a good performance. And that is our major motivation and objective, to bring a good performance, and then we will get the deserved result. Sometimes in life you can be a bit unlucky, sometimes a little bit lucky, but at the end, in the long run, you get what you deserve. And we deserve to be at the AFCON, but when you look at the results, we didn't deserve to be at the World Cup. That doesn't mean we have to now put our head in the sand, heads in the sand. We have to work. We have to go still 3 months to go to the 2.5 months to go to the AFCON, and that's for us alone a motivation. We are responsible for our situation. Others are responsible for their own situation.
So, Coach, obviously, preparation for a game like this takes weeks, months, whatever process it takes for you. And you've got all these plans laid out, and then a situation happens with teach what you like. How much of a blow was it for you? And then the second question is, having a new assistant coach, what has Caetano Tembo brought to the team?
Okay, the first question, I didn't hear it properly.
The first question is about obviously the plans that you had, and you have an assistant who you've been in the process with, and then the late minute, the late minute withdrawal. How much has that impacted your preparations? And then secondly, the coming in of Caetano Tembo, and what is he bringing to the team?
Okay, look, yes, I brought Caetano in. Actually, the plans were quite go back until last year when I started in July, but he was starting at his club in a position called senior coach, and he didn't get the release 100% for the qualification for the FIFA yet. It would have been a little bit a challenge for him, so we postponed it. We stayed in contact, but it was clear when the draw was that we again against South Africa that this is going to be a hot topic later in the year, and then you must just find the right timing. And I think it was the right timing when I proposed that ahead of the AFCON, ahead of this match. We played 2 times South Africa in a period of 2.5 months. He knows South Africa in and out. I think he lives here 27 years. But never mind, we have 14 players, I think, who had previously played or relation to South Africa. Then Caetano, then me also. I worked for 4 years in the South African Football Association. And so we have a good insight. Caetano, apart from the special knowledge South Africa, he brings another dimension, experienced coach, well respected also as a player, loyal person. The way he played is also as a person, and sure is if Coach Teixeira would be here, the integration could be a little bit smoother, quicker, but it's not that I don't know Caetano. I know Caetano since 2003 when we played against each other. Me as a coach, he was a player at the Warriors. And then he was in my coaching courses during the time when I was in the South African Football Association. And we stayed in contact. And so it's possible, and it works good so far. You remember when I arrived last year, it was 2 weeks before the FIFA period, not even 2 weeks. And we also found very quick a way to work together with complete new staff, people I never worked before, people I never knew before, and we could settle in very quick. I think we can deal with that. And yeah, we will see what comes out, but we are very happy that he's here. He can bring a dimension to the team, and when we are again complete, hopefully, it's not in my power, then we will have a very good technical team for the AFCON ready.
Brother.
Chogos Hugo from Far Post. Coach, you've not had the best record with the Warriors, and obviously there's question marks about you as a coach. How important is this game in terms of restoring confidence in you as a coach of this team?
It depends how it defined record. I think had an excellent record the first 8 games. We didn't play a single home game, unlike South Africa. We qualified for the AFCON, 1 game to spare. We were only controversially defeated in the first 8 games 1 time. Then we tried a little bit to increase the depth of the squad. We took a little bit of risk in June, because that is the only period in the calendar year where you can bring players in and test. We gave established players a rest, or if they had small injuries, we rested them intentionally, that they are ready for the AFCON. Everything was designed then for the AFCON. On the other side, we tried to turn the ship in the World Cup qualification around. Yes, the last 2 games, the results were not the way we wanted. We can admit that. Nevertheless, the performance, I think, against Rwanda was a good performance. In Cote d'Ivoire, we had a little bit challenges, I must also admit, in terms of aggressivity, in terms of work rate up front, in terms of pressing, some one-on-one defendings. But I think that we really analyzed that, and that the team will be ready. It is clear that not everything after the first 8 games can go always up in a team development process. I think you should know it. The first 2 years when your coach arrived, it was also not just everything gold. You turned it around during the AFCON. You lost even the first game that time against Mali, if you remember. And since then, you turned the ship a little bit around. If you define the record as a winning percentage, I worked in another country before. I had a winning record of 69%. That's a very high level. And then it came the most important game, and we didn't win it. It was outside circumstances. I couldn't influence that time. It was a war. I don't tell you now where, but it was a war. And the focus and the match fitness and all the things were not there. And then you lose the decisive game. At the end, you have a winning record of 69% and you didn't qualify. I'd rather take a lower percentage in winning rate and qualify. Very simple for me. It's about achieving objectives and not about achieving winning rates. Teams won championships with, I think, only winning 1 game in a whole championship in regular time. You can do your research, which team I'm in. It's about achieving your objectives in football. Nevertheless, winning gives confidence. Yes, you have to develop, you have to progress, and we are on that road. We want to have a competitive team in the AFCON. We would have taken the opportunity if the results in the last 2 games would have been better, maybe to still compete for the World Cup qualification. But I took over in the middle of it. It was already 4 games played. So it was not a real easy task to turn that ship around.
Good afternoon, Coach. Sabine Viera first. Coach, I'm getting the impression that your main objective for this game and the next games going forward is to build a good team for the AFCON. Um, so in a game like this, do you, in your scheme of thoughts when planning for this game, do you maybe consider, are you considering giving a chance to players that maybe haven't proved themselves, or are you just thinking of going cutthroats for the best team that you have and trying for going for the kill?
I explained before, we have a duty as sportsmen to take this game serious. We cannot now start here experimenting, like in maybe in June, giving players just a test ride and things like that. It would be interpreted very quickly in a certain way. We cannot afford that. The history of Zimbabwean football is a little bit rocky, and we discussed that in length inside the association. We have to give our best; it's our duty, and so there's. It's not really. It's quite the team. I would say that's not an experimental team. You can see in the squad experienced players which were before qualifying for the AFCON. The one or the other is missing for injuries or something like that. That can happen, but I think the squad is strong enough to pass this stress test. I mean, we don't need to beat around the bush. South Africa is currently among the best teams in Africa. They're playing home, away from home, or not, whatever we call it. Maybe you have better expressions. And if we can pass that stress test, then we are ready. I think then we are not far away to be ready for the AFCON. Um, we were not when it was discussed, so our players are tired of playing COVID games in front of 1,000 spectators in a 60,000 seater stadiums. And so, believe me, even opponents' fans will rather motivate them than paralyze them.
My brother. No.
Okay. Coach, obviously you know South quite.
What's your name?
Oh,
And
sorry,
where you-
Matamobili from ENCA. You know South quite intimately and with Kaitana there. What have you made of the team itself under Hugo?
Can you repeat exactly? I didn't.
What have you made of South Africa under Hugo? You know them.
I mean, I said it before. The beginning was also quite rocky. I remember I read that time because I'm following South African football since many years. I worked here for years. Many coaches, top coaches from here went through my hands in education. If you make your proper research, and I'm following it. And I can still remember that there was some clever advices given to your technical team even during the AFCON after the first game. And you changed it around during the AFCON last year. When was it? Yes, last year in January. So the last 20th month, yeah, you progressed constantly, steadily. The confidence grew. Very strong goalkeeping. Was at that time also very crucial, and that's how it is. Sometimes when you build your confidence, then you the self belief grows, and also you took very smart advantage of your of the stadium situation. Yeah, I mean, when this campaign is over, you have 7 out of 10 games home, not travel stress, not much logistical stress. You have always 1 or 2 more training sessions than the other teams. It also has some reasons. Then you had with the under 20 good works, you had with the Chan. You find a good way to start the competition a little bit later, like other teams. Very smart. So you were very good in that to develop, and you have now, I think, a very good depth in the squad. You make your how can you say, your preliminary list consists of 45 players. 45 players in a preliminary list. I'm not yet on that level. Yeah, that I can say. So we know South Africa progressed a lot. Very clever, very smart use of the last 2 years. Of course, the coach has is an experienced coach, and has a big influence on that, no doubt about that. But you also see your clubs, how they're performing in Africa. So all worked very perfect in a certain way, but in the AFCON, all the teams have the equal ways. Every team has the same traveling stress. Every team has more or less the same resting time, the same amount of training time. Maybe in the preparation, you still have a little bit, maybe a week more advantage because most of your team plays in South Africa, and I think your league finished quite early. But I think then in the AFCON, it will be quite an even platform.
Two last questions, please. Hey, my brother there.
Yes.